All she'd need to do was show proof that the kids are alive and are well. Can you understand why she's refusing to do that?
You know, it seems simple. It did to me. That I know is the woman that she is. I did not see any great change in Lori.
Have you asked your sister where the kids are?
No. I've talked to her a couple of times. You know me, and you know I've always taken care of my kids, and I do know that.
Defending Lori because she's your daughter and she's your sister, or are you defending her because you really think that she did nothing wrong?
We really think that she did nothing wrong. She's had some bad judgment. She's married a few men that we didn't care for.
She'll be the first to say that she's made a lot of mistakes, and she's paid high prices for those mistakes.
So what is the scenario that Tylee and JJ are still alive?
Well, to us, we believe they are because we know Lori, and we have seen her dedication.
Are they in a bunker somewhere? Are they with friends? Where do you think they are?
We don't know. We wish we knew. We don't know. But we also don't know what Lori has been through. She was being threatened. She was being followed.
Who was threatening her?
Well, Kay was threatening her.
And her brothers. They're very upset about Charles's death. There was a lot of threats made to Lori.
Do you think she's in a cult?
No.
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 We don't.
I've spoken to people who live near Chad, and they say we follow Chad. They look at Chad like he's some sort of messiah.
I don't know Chad very well. I've only met him one time. I've never heard anything about him self-proclaiming to be a prophet or anything else of that nature, or trying to get people to follow him.
We can't see Lori blindly following anybody. Can you? No, we can't see it.
You don't think that Chad brainwashed her?
No, he couldn't do it. It's not possible. It's a long time. We love them so much. And it's been devastating not to see Lori.
Is there any part of the dark recesses of your minds that say, maybe she cracked and maybe this is not going to end up well?
We have gone through those scenarios probably 100 times.
If something has happened to those children, it is not by her doing. And it's not by her permission.
She couldn't crack enough to do harm to her children.
Let's talk about Lori Vallow's parents, Barry and Janis Cox. They filed a suit against the U.S. government, which was summarily dismissed. They were labeled as tax protesters. On June 22, 2012, Judge Sweeney issued an order and an opinion which states the lawsuit is the plaintiff's latest attempt to avoid the payment of federal income taxes. Plaintiffs have not alleged any facts or cited any law that would bring their complaint within this court's jurisdiction. Summary dismissal is appropriate. According to the available court records, plaintiff's odyssey began in the late 90s when plaintiff Barry L. Cox pled guilty to making false statements to the IRS. His sentence was imposed in May of 1999, which included 1 year in prison and restitution to the IRS, which included the federal income taxes he owed. He appealed the sentence. He said that he had no tax liability for those years, for 1998, 99, and 2000. Upon his release from prison, Mr. Cox filed several Federal Tort Claims Act suits. So Janis and Barry Cox didn't pay taxes for 98, 99, and 2000. Upon his release from prison, Mr. Cox filed several federal tort claims in federal district court against the U.S., the IRS, and the U.S. Department of Justice, and the U.S. Probation Office. All of his suits were dismissed, with the district court noting in one of its dismissal orders that Mr. Cox's true intent was to collaterally attack his criminal conviction. And the Fifth Circuit dismissed the appeal as frivolous. In May 2004, the U.S. filed suit against plaintiffs in federal district court to collect the unpaid taxes. In that suit, they sought a judgment, and they said that he owed back taxes plus penalties and interest in the amount of $320,000. And the U.S. filed tax liens on the property, and they foreclosed on his house. The proceeds were applied to satisfy their tax debt, and the district court issued a deficiency judgment against Lori's parents for the balance of the debt, $206,000. In June 2005, while the collection action was pending, they filed a voluntary petition for bankruptcy. And the IRS filed a proof of claim for, among other things, back taxes. Plaintiffs filed more actions in 2010, 2012, and 13 years after Mr. Cox was ordered to pay back taxes to the IRS as restitution, they filed an instant lawsuit. They allege a wide variety of claims, and their rambling 106-page complaint. But the bottom line is, they do not believe they are required to pay federal income taxes like the rest of us.